Welcome to the first ever official, not the first live for me, but the first official live session of 2021. And this will be my live schedule for the year. I did a quick poll and people voted for Thursday evenings. Oh, I'm sorry. And I will be going live each and every Thursday unless otherwise stated. And I just noticed that my computer is not plugged into power. I still have 75% battery left, but I might have to pardon myself and plug it in. So forgive me for that, but I'm going to move the microphone into the middle so I'm not just leaning over the whole entire time. And I can lift it up. Ooh, there we go. Well, I jumped in a little bit early today just because I was not doing anything else, so I decided I might as well just spend a little bit more time here today. Thank you for joining. If you're here live, thank you for being here with me. I don't see anybody here. There was a few people here, but they departed, and typically people come and go, but I just want to give a little bit of attention to my nails right now. I painted, obviously, this one more, but not intentionally, but just look at how cool this is. Anyways, I guess once we have some more people join, let me put this the right way. I guess once we have more people join, I can start answering questions and saying hello. So if you do jump in and you want to ask questions or interact, then feel free to say hello. But I can't believe that I have not brought this into a video yet. My mom got this for me a couple years ago. It sounds pretty good. But if you're watching this after the fact, because this will be posted to my channel, then sit back and relax, and I hope that you enjoy spending some time. I'm excited to finally be gaining a little bit more consistency with kind of when and how I post on this channel. Alright. You might be coming back to this one. And this I thought I would experiment with a little bit today. You can hear it. I'm not just hope that everybody can find a little bit of solace and joy during this hello. Trying to keep it this way. Let's just talk for a second. So, my week has been pretty good. Definitely stuck a little bit inside. Things are definitely still very much shut down and uncertain where I am. I hope that we can continue just enjoying what we can. That's what I've been trying to do all year. I know that the one downside of living where I live in the city, I live right by a hospital. And I live in a city that appreciates car shows and crazy driving. So blocking out the haters. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm blocking out the haters. That's one of my favorite memes. Super old school. This is veggie bouillon. I don't know if I've thoroughly talked about it here, but I actually run a soup and food blog called The Soup Troop. SOUPDROUPE. And I absolutely love making soup. It's my second hobby besides ASMR. If you can't tell, I like calming and relaxing things. I have generalized anxiety disorder, so I absolutely have to keep myself super calm. I think my spirit animal is like a fox or a cat because, like a fox, I can be very sly, but I'm easily irritable and anxious and a little says, what's your favorite kind of soup to make? And I would have to say, probably what I made today. I actually just made a fresh batch of butternut squash soup, and I found a really good recipe. If anybody watches, I'm sure everybody does, but Chef John from Food Wishes has a really good butternut squash soup recipe, and I basically emulated his recipe, and it came out so good. I'm usually too lazy to strain it, but I actually took the time to strain it, and chef's kiss came out so good. But I also like making all sorts of ramen. There's a brand I think called Hinori, Hinori, Hinori ramen, and it's like much more organic and fresh. And I'm not 100% vegetarian, but when I cook at home, I cook pretty much 100% vegetarian. If I ever, eat out, sometimes I'll add in meat, but I don't like cooking with meat at home. But B. Seth asks, can you do an ASMR request? And the answer is yes, depending on what it is. Let me know what you like me to do. Alright, I'll come back to this little guy. Or gal, I don't want to gender stereotype it. Can I do a yoga request? What do you mean? Can you clarify a little bit what that means? But, oh God. Just breathe. Yeah. I can definitely look into something like that, yes. I'm not sure if I can do it today on this live stream, but I definitely take requests. So be a little bit more clear, and I will do my best to fulfill it. Hypno says just breathe. Just breath. I'm just not really sure what exercise ASMR means. I am an ASMR channel, so I'm glad to see some people interacting in the chat. Hello, and thank you for saying hi and for being here. B said it looks like he left. Bye. I have no idea what he meant. Hopefully nothing inappropriate, but I will assume. I am so sorry. I should have known if this. I even scared my cat with that one. That was the opposite of relaxing. So I wish I could edit that out. I don't know if I can edit in post. I myself have been doing yoga with Adrienne. If anybody knows her, she's, one of the biggest exercise channels on YouTube. I've been doing her 30-day yoga challenge this month, and it has been. I finished today, right before I jumped on here today. So I'm scared of this thing now that it's gonna. I think. Well, there's an indentation right here, so if that. All right, just to be safe. I'm gonna put this one down. And we'll just come back right in here. Just gently. Inaudible whispers are always my favorite. They have been some of my favorite personal triggers for many, many years, as well as just some very gentle hand motions. So it's very good to see you and just get into this. Alright, so I'm not sure how long I should stay on today. If I have some people join, chat, say hello, I will probably stick around a little bit longer. But either way. Feels good to just allow your body to relax. Just hello and welcome. I'm glad that you made it. You're here on time. I also announced it, so. And this is when I will be coming live weekly, so check in with me. And I know for sure that I will be missing weeks, but I will do my best to share if I will be gone that week. But my day so far has been very, very good. One of those days where it feels like not a whole lot happened, and that's a good thing. I think that the last attention much to what's going on in the news, so with all due respect to the world out there. But how has your day been? Let me know. My third eye. I might have to make an actual recorded video with this. What do you think? I really, really like the sounds that this little thing makes. And yes, I do know what you mean. I got an invitation for something. Let's see. Uh-oh. They invited the wrong person. Where do you work? If you don't mind. You don't have to be super specific, but what type of work? And I definitely would much rather be busy than not busy. Although I do have to say, certain days I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. Oh my god, I don't know why I haven't. I don't know why I hadn't thought to do my cell phone noises, because look at it. I love my case and I never get to show it off. Plus, iPhone tapping has always been. Yes, Andrea, I did look confused. There's somebody at my organization who has the same name as me. Or her name is Sarah Williams. My name is Sarah Wong. So they copied the wrong person. I just have to make sure that I direct it to Sarah Williams so that she receives the notification. And I guess a lawyer in Toronto sort of does work in the streets, right? Toronto is one hell of a city. Toronto sort of, please don't be mad at me for saying this, but Toronto's sort of like the LA of Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it more than New York? Is British Columbia more the LA of Canada? I don't know. I probably shouldn't even be making comparisons because the US and Canada are so different. But that's really cool. Good for you. That's quite busy right now. It makes sense why you're busy because there's a lot of legal stuff going on in the world right now. Just in general. Seems like the law has caught up with a lot of the stuff that's been going on over the past reason that I have not made a phone for tapping video is because I record my videos on my phone. But I could probably record on my laptop. I just don't have an actual camera. But I could record a video on my laptop. And definitely do. No, I mean a lot of ASMR artists have a camera, and an actual vlog camera or something like that. But I've been talking for years about how I want to invest in a camera, and I still do. But I'm actually probably in the financial position right now where I should be able to afford a camera. Not until maybe March or April. So once I have enough saved up, I'm definitely gonna be investing in an actual camera. And I could always as well record on my camera and just take off this makes just as good of noises, right? Rita asks, which countries have I traveled to? I have not left the US, unfortunately, in over a decade, but I was very fortunate when I was in high school. My family took a trip to Europe once, and we went to, gosh, let's see if I can remember everywhere we went. We went to England, France, Italy, Switzerland, Luxembourg, Austria, Germany, and I think that's it. It was a beautiful tour. And then I've also been to Canada. I've not been to Mexico, which is in the US, but kind of not in the US, owned by the US. And then where else? I think that's it. Pretty much Western world. But I desperately I want to visit the Eastern world so much. I want to go to India. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to like Indonesia, like the Pacific Islands, and I definitely want to travel. But travel was challenging for me because of kind of where I was at in my life and not having a passport and all that. And then, of course, once I was finally able to travel, you know what's going on in the world the last year, so I have my mind is positive though, and travel will be in my future again. And all of our futures, we will be traveling again. But at the same time, I think it's also important for us to recognize travel because I feel like once I start traveling, I'm not gonna want to stop. But that's a good question. Thank you for asking that, Rita. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask. But Andrea, if you're still here, I think I could do a case tapping video. But let's just get a little, while we can, a little bit of matches my nails. Let's see if you can. There. Do you see? There you are. Hello. Are you there? Yes, Andrea, this is the purple iPhone 11. I got this pretty brand new when the iPhone 11 first came out. I'd had, I think, an iPhone 6 before that, so I think a little over a year, maybe November of 2019, perhaps, when I got this. And it's served me very well. Every other iPhone that I've had slows down and stuff, and I know that Apple got in some trouble because of this, but a lot of those problems of like things slowing down have been remedied, and it's still working very well. And I upgraded to the iOS 12 when that came out. And Cyberknight asks, do I have any weird or hidden talents? And I did mention earlier in the stream, I don't know if this is necessarily weird or like hidden, but I love cooking. I love cooking soup, and I guess a weird and hidden talent would be that I'm a little bit psychic. I can sort of see the future just a little bit, and I can kind of read minds. I'm very empathic. I can pick up on people's emotions and energies. And of course, it's not perfect. I'm not always right. But I have a very, very powerful sense of intuition. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of a hidden talent, but I've always considered myself more of a jack of all trades, master of none. Cyberknight said, that's a good talent. I used to be able to do armpit fart noises, but I don't know if you would call that a talent. That's definitely a talent, and I think that I can't do that. I think for some reason something happens to your hands when you become an adult. Like little kid hands, are just more capable of fart noises in the pit. So I've just found my adult hands. Maybe I'm arthritic and an old lady now, but she's so cute. But if anybody else has any hidden or secret talents that they would want to share, let us know in the chat. I love that. That's such a good question. I also am very good at eating. That's my hidden talent. I can eat like no other. Oh my god. I burn incense by this thing and it smells so good. It smells like incense. And Andrea, yes, I do. This meow is very fitting for me. I have 3 cats. Cleo, Ringo, and Midnight. I think there's a video that I posted earlier this year. A get ready with me. I'm wearing like a pink shirt, and my cat Ringo is in it. And I'll try to get Midnight in a video at some point. But all 3 of them are the sweetest, most adorable cats. And Joe Mama 025 asks, what superpower would you rather have, flight or invisibility? Oh man, that's a great question. Okay, I will give you answers for why I would want both, and then I'll tell you which one I would choose. So, I've been having a lot of flying dreams this year. Not sure if anybody is a dream interpreter, but I've had like 6 or 7 dreams where I'm learning how to fly, and I'm really afraid of heights, so it's like a little scary, but even in my dream it's a little scary, but that's been super, super like crazy and cool. When I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to sleep. So flight, I know, is like really cool. But I would pick invisibility because I am, I have a very noticeable aura and energy. I've always been like noticed when I go out, and I feel like everybody's watching me all the time. So to be invisible would be, and I posted a video earlier this year about back in November. Unfortunately, I was mugged, which was just awful. So that's another reason I would want to be invisible, so that I could just go out in public without being scared. And yeah, I don't know. As well, just being invisible, like you could do anything. But the best would be to be both, right? To be able to fly and to be invisible. Yeah. What would you say? You know what? Please don't leave, everybody. Please don't leave. I'm gonna be right back. My laptop is in need of being charged, but give me 1 second. invisibility levels just went down during the whole stream. I was watching the charger slowly but surely go down, so feels good. Oh yeah, that's a great point, Andrea. It's a great point. I think invisibility would be particularly cool to have as well right now, sort of with everything that's going on, because you could just sort of get away with a lot that you're technically not supposed to be doing right now. But gotta still, you know, I'm like really terrible with icebreakers and thinking of exactly. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was really loud. Just got all sorts of things going on. But yeah, you could totally break out of this quarantine and this lockdown, and of course nothing would be open, but you could just go out and run around outside. Yeah. Let me think. Okay, besides just flight or invisibility, what superpower in general, besides flight and invisibility, what superpower in general do you think? I'm trying to think, like maybe super speed, because super speed could potentially be invisibility, right? If you move fast enough, you could technically be invisible. But the thing about wishes is that with wishes you have to be very careful. Because what you wish, I've learned this recently. What you wish for might come true, but it might not come to you the way that you thought or expected. So when it comes to wishing, you have to be careful. But yes, having and I guess if you had unlimited wishes, you could like undo the mistakes. You have to be careful. Yeah, that would be pretty cool if you could just like not have to cook ever and just be like, I want a sandwich. Andrea says probably mind reading, but I already have that. Well, yeah. When I say mind reading, I wish that I could read minds to the extent of like, I'm like, but yeah, for me with the mind reading, and Joe, it's funny that Joe Mama, it's funny that you say that about being broken by negative thoughts, because that's exactly how I was when I didn't really know how to control the like ability. And it's not like I can just like look at somebody and be like, he's thinking of XYZ. It's like I'll think of something, or I'll think of somebody that I haven't thought about in a really long time, and within minutes they will call me, they will text me, they will reach out to me. It's such somebody, and I hadn't spoken with her in like maybe 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden I was like thinking of her, and then 2 minutes later I looked down at my phone and she texted me. So it's like, I think the sense that I have is like, when somebody's thinking of me, I know it. I know when people are thinking about me. I can feel that like energy. It's both good and bad. And I'm trying to learn how to like turn it on and off. I found that like meditation and energy protection stuff can help me with it. And I have a couple, like, I know this is so woo-woo, but I have a couple crystals that black tourmaline is one. I talked about black tourmaline on the channel before, but it's a protection stone, and I wish I had my tourmaline stone here with me, but it's basically what it does is it protects against psychic attacks. Yeah, I think that us humans are capable of a lot, and that we do have some kind of super abilities, and I think there is some credence to like the fact that some of the foods we eat, some of the water that we drink, kind of, especially in the Western world, kind of shuts those things down. But if you can change your diet and kind of practice how to get more in touch with those things, you can definitely kind of sharpen the ability. And for somebody like me, for many years, I was like, I didn't have any help or support in taking care of myself in that regard. And I guess it's, doing energy work and balancing, which I've done some Reiki and chakra balance videos on this channel, because that's the kind of work that's really helped me. We are absolutely energetic creatures, and I think sometimes we get too lost in thinking about the material world. But the material world is important. But I've had my live streams taken down in the past for talking about certain things, and it's funny that right as I said that, my connection became unstable. So, am I still here? Can you feel another person's gaze on you, even when they're Joe Mama? Yes. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. I have that feeling sometimes of like, yeah, my connection is unstable. And it's funny that I was talking about my connection being unstable right when I was saying that we need to be careful with the type of conversation we have, because I've been kicked off of live streams before for going a little too woo-woo. So, gotta, respect the tube, respect YouTube and the boundaries here. I wish that we could just open up about this, but we could over on Discord. But Shan Ditron says, I'm still technically an atheist, but this last year has made me all spiritual now, which makes no sense to me. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. I think that the same boat as you. I consider myself an atheist up until maybe 2018, and I couldn't. I basically I had so many bad and traumatic things happening to me that I sort of had to like come to terms with myself and ask, like, okay, if I do start believing and if I do start following like scripture and reading scripture and familiarizing myself with like Buddhist ideology and Christian ideology, even Islamic ideology, if I start to familiarize myself with these things and give them a chance, right? Because as an atheist, that was the problem, and I think that is the problem with atheists, is like they, at least me, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but when I consider myself an atheist, I drew a lot of conclusions before I really ever took the time to understand, you know, why these texts exist, right? Like why the Bible exists, why the Quran exists, why Hermetic texts exist, and sort of in reading and learning more about it, I was like, okay, well, a lot of this I've observed in my life, and a lot of this makes a lot of sense, and a lot of it was answers, especially to the things that were creating stress and anxiety in my life. So I think it's very, very possible to remain skeptical, but to not believe in anything spiritual at all, and to just believe everything is random chaos and that nothing has any sort of purpose, and that there's absolutely no sort of higher power, universal energy, or anything. That to me is a lot of naivety. I think that we've been forced to realize that, you know, a lot of there's reason why the Bible exists. It's not just some random book that came to be 2,000 years ago. It's not just some pointless thing, you know. But yeah, I forget. I don't know. I forget exactly what it was, but I've been kicked off of live streams before. You know, just too political, too out there, and I think we're dancing that line very carefully today. And yeah, Andrea, I don't know if it was even getting kicked off, but or if it was just my internet connection being bad. Could have very well been more likely the latter. But Fresh Lime Juice says, I like woo woo. Me too. Deal. Getting in touch with my spirit self has been chef's kiss. One of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. I don't know what I would consider myself. There's a channel on YouTube called Let's Talk Religion, and I don't know what the guy's name is. He's like maybe Russian or something, or Eastern European somehow. He's a fairly new channel, but his videos are so good, and I think that, you know, it's so important, especially for us in the Western world, to educate ourselves about spirituality. It's so important. It's so important because public schools in the United States, especially where I grew up, don't teach about that stuff at all. They don't teach it at all. So you have to go out of your way to learn it. And introducing myself to it, I mean, I only started introducing myself to it over the last year, and I'm almost 30, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had known all of this my entire life. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's just an important time to open up your perspective and realize that you just might be wrong about a lot of things and humble yourself down. I've certainly had to take plenty of bites of humble pie over the last year or two. There was a quote, I think it's a quote from Charles Bukowski, that says, smart people or intelligent people think that they know the least, and stupid people think that they know the most. Kind of the idea that dumb people, the more stupid you are, the louder and more opinionated you tend to be, and the more intelligent that you are, the more that you question things, the more doubtful you are, and the more quiet you are. And that probably lends to some of the condition of the world. Is some of the loudest voices out there have no idea what in the hell they're talking about. And the Dalai Lama is one of my favorites because he's always about questioning and, keeping your mind open to different ideas. Yeah, Joe Mama 025. I didn't even get into Eastern religion or spirituality until after college, until maybe around 26, 27, 28. Yeah. Fresh lime juice. I think Aristotle said the only thing I know is that I know nothing at all. Yeah. It's only fools and fanatics who are certain they're right all the time. It's so true. It's so true. And I think that there's different times throughout humanity. Like if you look back, that's something I've been just over the last few months in quarantine and lockdown. I've been looking into things. Andrea's gonna leave, but it was good to hang out with you and for you to join us. I hope you have a good walk with your dog. But yeah, I'll be back again next week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. And I will probably be logging off in maybe another 10 or 15 minutes myself. Yeah, but Shan, Titron, don't blame yourself. If I imagine that you're from the United States, like myself, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Us here in the West have been barred, I would say, from a lot of really important education and knowledge. And I don't necessarily know why. I don't know the mechanisms why, the functions why. Who necessarily thought that was a good thing? But I think we're living in a time right now where the US is kind of going through its renaissance in a way, the Western world in general. Yeah, I mean, I think that something that I've learned about mindfulness and finding internal peace is not blaming myself for what I don't know. You only know what you know, and the fact that you are figuring this out now, that's the most important part. I think that you're never too old to learn and to change and to grow and to evolve. I'm all about transformation and metamorphosis and moving through different phases of life. Yeah. Yeah. I think that a bridging of the worlds, a bridging of the Western and the Eastern worlds is absolutely necessary. And I think that we're in that time. We're in that sort of period right now where those two worlds are colliding. And I think a lot of people are scared of that, but I'm not at all. A period of great prosperity. I think on the other side of all of this, and there's a lot of astrologists and spiritualists and even like magic, people that practice magic, that say that we are entering a period of great, great, great lightness and unity. So, yeah. But I think so. I think that perspective and like sort of understanding why things happen when they happen is important. That's something I've been putting a lot of thought to. I used to just get very salty and angry when I thought about the Western world and sort of why it was the way that it was. But if you kind of look back in time and sort of how the monarchies and the caste system wasn't allowing for people to have individual freedom, right? Up until, the 1770s. I think that was why many of the first kind of pioneers that came to the United States from Britain and Belgium and Germany and France, and a lot of them were leaving Europe because the kings and the monarchies and the sort of Game of Thrones that was going on in Europe at the time was so insane that they were trying to escape and somewhere else to be and create their own new world. And that's what America kind of came to be. And at that point in time, I think individual freedom was a very radical idea and a very necessary idea. But 300 years later, when a global pandemic hits and things change and the pendulum swung so far to the other side where people took that freedom too far, and I think that we are so many generations away from that now that we've totally forgotten, you know what I mean? I do believe that wisdom is passed down through our ancestry and knowledge is passed down through our DNA and through our blood, but I think that is far enough away now that we can't access it we can't access it as much. It takes a lot to access that through our ancestry. Like we can access back to maybe even like the Civil War time quite easily still to this day, a generation or two before, but going back further than that is hard. So I think we are the generation, the millennials really are the generation to remember. And I don't know, I've just been thinking about that a little bit, why it's called millennial, right? There's Gen Z, there's Gen X, and then there's millennials in between. Why are millennials something different? And I think that millennials were raised differently. Millennials have a different perspective about the world than Gen Z, Gen X. And there has to be some sort of purpose for that. Yeah, seriously, Mr. Rogers on TV and Bob Ross and just so much like compassion, and the way that I see kids in Gen Z now, being raised, you know, almost in the exact opposite way. It's like being a kid right now, man, being a parent right now, man, you gotta protect and shelter the heck out of your kids because there's just so much dark entertainment out there right now. And I mean, I'm sure that that's been around, you know. Yeah, like it's just like compassionate, empathetic, kind, like genuinely kind and loving. Like children's entertainment just doesn't exist as much, and that's what like 90s babies and millennials, even 80s kids grew up with it too. But I pray and I hope that we will move back into a time where compassionate and loving people have more power and are able to have a bigger influence. But it's just like, you know, right now it's few and far between that it seems that kind and loving entertainment, like we're in that like edgy teen phase of like that stuff's not cool or whatever. And I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Arthurian legends, and you know, kind of thinking of like the time of Uther Pendragon versus the time of King Arthur, and it seems like we're more in a Uther Pendragon period of time right now, where Uther is in charge, where you know Uther is quite mean. But once King Arthur takes over control, then you know that things are going to get better because King Arthur was the real OG. Yeah, I believe that King Arthur exists in our generation. Modern day King Arthur. Yes, yes, yes. I love nerding out so much. Like, especially talking about Arthurian legend. I watched the show Merlin from the BBC in the beginning of the quarantine, and I think I might just watch it again because it's probably my favorite show that I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so good. So good. Netflix show Merlin. It's basically the story of Merlin, and it is the best beginning to end because the thing about the Arthurian legend, obviously throughout time, many different, yeah, yes, you will like it. You will definitely like it. It's so good. And the guy that plays Merlin is like born to play Merlin. All of the characters are just so well cast. Even King Arthur is like so well cast, and I love that Guinevere she's amazing. Guinevere is so good in it. They're all so good. Gosh, I want to watch it again now that I'm talking about it. But a lot of stories obviously have borrowed Arthur's legend, and they've told like little bits and pieces of Arthurian legend, but I've never seen a story tell the entire Arthur's legend, basically all of Joffrey of Monmouth's entire Arthurian legend from beginning to end. And this show does that. It tells the entire story. And I'm like, oh, it's so nerdy, but it's so good. It's like fantasy makes me know. I don't think I know that dragons are real. And I feel bad for the dragons because they've been held in the underworld for such a long time, and they're not all underworld kind of creatures. They want to be out in our world. They want to be, but they can't be, and it's sad. I'm like, let's free the dragons. Let's free the dragons. Oh man, I appreciate being able to just kind of entertain that fantasy world a little bit. It's fun. It's fun. Oh man. I'm pretty sure that that's where the dragons all got hidden. I'm gonna put on my paw. Wait. I need some more clarity around what you mean by Bob Ross mask. Is it like a beard, sort of, or like is it him, like a picture of him on the mask? I need clarity around what that means. And Joe Mama, yes, the dragons are being held hostage underneath Antarctica, and we've got to go and free them. They are not dinosaurs; they're dragons. Dinosaurs and dragons are the same thing. And they're tiny little land babies, bearded dragons. We still get to live on the outer crust. Oh man, that is so great. A pattern of his face and happy little clouds. I love that. That's so cool. Yes, I know. Bearded dragons are cute AF. I love them so much. I love them so much. My friend Catherine had a bearded dragon growing up, and it smelled like doo-doo. That's the thing about lizards. They smell really, really bad, but if you can get beyond the smell, they are such great little. Dragons have, or lizards have an aura about them, like a crazy aura. Like they have some. I can get down with that lizard energy for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I think any sort of amphibian, for whatever reason, smells bad, but I won't make fun of them for smelling bad because sometimes I get embarrassed about my smell. So I won't be mean to the dragons about their bad smells. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna stay on here until 6 p.m., which is 7 more minutes in my time zone. I'm gonna eat some more of my soup and kind of settle down. And I have to. Got another notice. I forgot to respond to an email from my boss, so I'm going to. Oh, good. No, I don't have to respond. Okay, good. And yes, I am California kid. If you can't, I'm whispering, so you can't really tell my accent. But if I was to speak in my normal voice, I have a California accent. I think it's kind of obvious. You can tell, and you can specifically tell that I'm from the Bay Area. I have a Bay Area accent. Yeah. It's so funny that you're in Florida. I was considering. Oh wow. I crazy. So, Florida, though, wow. I was thinking maybe about moving to Florida after my mugging. Yeah, crazy. So crazy how the world is so small. But so, yeah, I know, I was mugged and it scared the crap out of me, but I'm over it now and I'm not afraid to be here anymore. I know, I just know how to protect them. It was such a one-off crazy thing. But yeah, I have some family. I was adopted. No, fortunately I wasn't. I was knocked down, but not unconscious. And they didn't get any of my stuff. Fortunately, kind passerby sort of saw the incident and intervened before they could get any of my stuff. So I was physically shaken. But I was very, very lucky that, it wasn't worse than what it was. And my left shoulder got a little messed up, but I've been doing yoga all month. And my yoga has 1000% helped me with strengthening and sort of rehabilitating it. But yeah, it was horrible. I know. I'm so lucky because the bystander effect is a real thing, and not everybody is as lucky as I was. Oftentimes, people aren't. Oftentimes, people sort of freeze up and don't do anything when they witness incidents like that. So that's where my spirituality comes in. That's where my belief in something. I don't know if it's God. I don't know if it's just universal energy or spirit angels or, guardian angels or what, but I certainly believe that there's something out there that watches over both good and bad, because I've been a good girl this year. I've been a good girl. And the times in my life when I was not a good girl, I had demons surrounding me and hurting me when I, but I, needed that probably. But yeah, I have some biological family that lives in Jacksonville, I believe. And I may be. Yeah, my relationship with Jesus has been. Jesus is like my annoying cousin who doesn't want to have a relationship with me, and I don't want to have a relationship with him, but he's my cousin, so I have to anyway, sort of thing. But yeah, I have some biological family that lives in Jacksonville, I believe, and they're so cool. I just met my biological family recently, not in person, just over the phone, and they really love it there. They were trying to get me to move out there immediately. My biological aunt, like the first time I talked to her, she was like, I'm buying you a plane ticket. You're moving to Jacksonville. I'm getting you out of California. She's like, California's getting the shitter right now. You need to get out of there. Which I could not disagree with her on. I really could not disagree with her on, because California is in the shitter right now. California is doing very bad right now. So, but the whole world is kind of doing bad right now, We're all going through it. Well, no, I have no idea. I have no idea where they are, but I am about to log off for the day. Oh, 1 second. I just yanked out my headphones. been so good chat with you. I will be back again next week, but if you want to see Beth, my patron. You made it. I don't know how long you've been here, but I was just going to talk about Discord, and I have Discord on my Patreon. I'm thinking about opening the Discord for more people outside of my patrons, but for now, my Discord is for my patrons, so if you want to chat with me, check out my Patreon link, and we can continue this conversation over there. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thank you. Oh, Cleo. My cat Cleo, she knew I was logging out. She knew I was logging out and she wanted to say bye. Alright. She's so cute. Hold on, I don't want to. Alright. Gotta say bye-bye to the people. Alright. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. I know, she's so cute.